All right, folks, and welcome back to another episode in our adventure in the visual novel If My Heart Had Wings. Last episode, we did a lot of test flights and a lot of tweaks, and then we broke the winch. This is why we can't have nice things, because we break them. Yeah. Decided to take a little time off and go to the beach, and we threw a disabled person in the water. Yeah. Thankfully, the disabled person survived, but yeah. We literally threw a disabled person in the water. Yeah. But it was fun according to them. Alright, but anyways, we're gonna find out what happened, or is going to happen, after that. So, we have decided to give Kaneko a break as far as helping me get this stuff loaded up, so Amane, if you would like to do the honors this time around.
前回の続きから。あ、わかった。
All right, let's do it. There's no way we could refuse when she has such an expectant look in her eyes. There's nothing we can do about that, so Agaha and I lift up Amane. The reason why she's heavier than Katori must be because of her chest.
え、あまねちゃんもやるの？クワクワ。
Get out of the way, it's dangerous there.
行きますよ、先輩。
One, two, three. Head first, huh? Amane flew through the air. Her trajectory was a little lower than Katori's. This time the splash was like a direct hit from a torpedo. Katori had let out noises as the splashing water hits. Amane, you alright?
あれ？
Amane is sinking. Amane?
あまねちゃん？
Katori starts desperately paddling towards her, and as she thrusts her hand into the water, Amane's face appears from the water. Then she clings onto Kotori's rubber ring. She can't swim? Well, she did mention she hadn't been here in a while.
うわ、ちょっと暴れないで。
Hang on, I'll be right there. I jump in and go to rescue them both.
死ぬところだった。泳げないことをすっかり忘れていたよ。
You would think that detail is a little bit imperative for survival's sake. Why? Why do this to us? Why?
笑い事じゃないでしょ、あまねちゃん。
You ain't lying. You can't swim, so why did you want to do it?
だって小鳥が楽しそうだったんだ。それにもしかするとパイロットスキルの訓練になるかもと思って。
I don't see the similarity between the two. I don't think it would help with that.
私、後でもう一回ね。
Okay, okay.
じゃあ私も。
You can't do it. Dude, just give her a floating device. That should help. This is a game that we often used to play.
小さい頃さ、これやってホタルが泣いたよね。
We were quite ruthless back then. Masasugu would be close to tears too. However, this is one of those rites of passage, and this is what helps kids to grow up. Maybe. Well, we started things off all of a sudden in a kind of childish way. But we were enjoying summer activities in our own way. Recently, I haven't been that active, so I was swimming around the place. Kotori entrusted herself to the rubber ring, floating on the water with Hat alongside her, while Ageha and Amane were building sandcastles. Those two really do like making things.
気持ちいいわね。
Kotori murmured with half of her body floating in the water of the beach.
水の中にいると体が軽くて煩わしくなくていいわ。
She's always in her wheelchair, so even moving a short distance can be quite troublesome. In the water, even her disabled legs don't feel so heavy. Hat is happy at being able to swim around as much as he likes. I passed by the two of them as I returned from my long-distance swim, then got out of the water and sprawled out on top of the sand. Phew. I sure am worn out after that.
おかえり。えらい遠くまで行ってたわね。
It's been a while since I did any exercise. I feel like I've lost some stamina.
にしても、すごい足してるわね。
Murmured Ageha as she looked at my thighs. Hmm? Oh, that's because I used to cycle.
見てよ、小鳥。あんたのウエストくらいあるわよ。失礼ね。私そんなに太くないわよ。
As she says that, I can't help but look at Kotori's waist. It is really slim. It's hard to tell because she's always in her wheelchair, but Kotori has a slender body. Compared to her, Ageha is...
何よ。
No, I was just thinking how full-bodied you are.
ふっくらだと？小鳥が細すぎんの。アゲハはおやつを控えるべきね。
Kotori spoke in a serious tone to Hat.
はあ、おのれ。スタイルといえば。
Both girls stared straight at Amane, who was relaxing in the shade of a tree. She was in the water just now, so her wet swimsuit was clinging tightly to her body, which emphasized her curves.
出るとこ出てて。引っ込むべきとこは引っ込んでる。
She really does have the ideal curvaceous body.
やっぱりアマネちゃんずるい。そうだそうだ。
Here we go again.
何のことかな。美人でスタイル良くて頭もいいなんて。ちょっと天然入ってるけど、そこもなんか愛嬌あってずるい。
You know, you can have a little klutziness to get some charm too. You know, if you probably drop the Miss Alul act. Amane looks at her body, slightly bewildered. She puts her hands on her voluptuous chest and lifts them up. I know because we've been living together for a few days, but Amane doesn't seem to do anything to maintain her figure. Kotori and Aga don't really worry that much about it, but Amane's case, she doesn't seem worried about it in the slightest. In other words, she's a natural beauty. It can't be helped if they say it's unfair.
スタイルといえば、葵くんが一番じゃないか？
Where'd that come from? That came completely out of the blue. Me?
ちょっと立ってみてくれないか？
I do as she says and stand up.
確かに。あ、本当だ。
Can you stop looking at me like that? It's kind of embarrassing.
いいじゃない。減るもんじゃなし。
You say that to me, but if I stared at you, you'd get angry, wouldn't you?
それ エッチだからよ。私らは違うもんね。
I beg to differ.
ね
So it's okay because they're girls then.
スラッと細いくせに筋肉質で、なんかいい体って感じ。
Don't say it like that.
ちょっとこっち来て。
I go to Katori as she beckons me over.
ちょっと触っていい？
No! Sure. But don't touch any weird places. Katori pokes my arm muscles with her fingertip.
ね、力入れてみて。
I do as she tells me.
何これ、硬い。どれどれ？あ、ほんとだ。こんなに硬くなるものなのか。
Everybody seems intrigued as they poke my muscles. It tickles.
じゃあ今度はここ。
She says as she points at my chest. Hey, if I touch your chest, you go totally nuts.
怒る。いいから触らせなさいよ。こんな美少女に胸触ってもらえるのよ。
Yeah, but you shouldn't say it like...
私も触ってみたい。
Ugh, it's difficult when Amane says it too. It can't be avoided, so I tense up my pecs.
モコってなった。すごい。なにこれ、硬い。同じ人体とは思えないぞ。
Amane checks the difference by altering between touching my chest and her own. What is going on? This is so embarrassing. But I am just a tad happy about it. A guy being happy about having his muscles praised is just like a girl being pleased about having her figure praised. This part is even better. I say as I kind of get carried away and tense up my legs.
カッチカチだ。ほえー、さすがね。すごいなあ、葵くんは。
How do you like my well-trained thighs?
でもなんかちょっと気持ち悪いね。
Get wrecked!
ここまで来るとちょっとね。このまま持って殴れば凶器になりそうだな。どうしたの、葵くん。
It's nothing. I'm just going to go for another swim. The three girls stare blankly at me as I trudge towards the water.
どうしたんだろう、急に。さあ、男の子はナイーブだから。
As some of you ladies can be as well. We as a human race are pretty much sensitive as it comes.
もうちょっと触りたかったな。
I float on the surface of the water along with Hat, who had followed me, and it seemed to soothe my wounded heart.
体中ぬるぬる。早くシャワー浴びたい。車椅子が砂でジャリジャリする。
We played at the lake until sunset, then we went back to the dormitory.
楽しかった。そうか、ハットも楽しかったか。
Amane seems satisfied as she speaks to Hat. I was worried that swimming in the lake might not really appeal to Amane, so I'm really glad she enjoyed it. While having a lively chat, we go through the gate and see someone at the entrance.
小鳥ちゃん、ひばりね。
It was Hibari.
よかった。誰もいなくて鍵もかかってたし、携帯に電話しても出てくれないから。
Let's not tell her that Kotori went swimming, but I think that news is gonna be broken anyway.
ごめん、気づかな。
Kotori groans as she looks at the call history on her cell phone. She had an unbelievable amount of missed calls from Hibari.
もう心配したんだから。どこ行ってたの、小鳥ちゃん。
Sorry, I went to swim at the lake with everyone.
泳ぎに？
Hibari seemed puzzled as she looked at Kotori. It looks like Kotori going swimming was completely unexpected.
そうだったんだ。
We didn't think that Hibari was coming today. It's always quite sudden, but usually either I or Kaneko are in the dormitory. However, since yesterday, Kaneko has been back at our house. Everyone is now on their Obon holiday. I unlocked the entranceway door. Please, come on in.
今日はここで。もう行かなくちゃいけないの。
She said, then looked back at Kotori.
小鳥ちゃんは帰らないのよね。お父さんも母さんも小鳥ちゃんに会いたがってたわ。いい、帰らない。ここにいる方が楽しいもん。小鳥ちゃん、そうよね。こんなにたくさんお友達もできたし。ごめんね、ひばりね。後で電話だけしてあげてね。わかった。水瀬さん、小鳥ちゃんのことよろしくお願いします。
I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on her. So please feel safe in the knowledge that everything's all right on your way home. What do you mean keeping an eye on me? Grumbled Kotori.
それからこれ。
She takes out a great big styrofoam box and opens the lid. Inside it,
お肉だ。お中元でいただいたの。どうぞ皆さんで食べてくださいね。さすがひばりさん。お肉。
this is the second time for Agaha and Amane to meet Hibari. Since we started camping, Hibari has been to the dormitory a few times.
それじゃあ行くわね、小鳥ちゃん。またね。お父さんとお母さんによろしく。
How about that?
第1回焼肉争奪紙飛行機大会。
Okay then. Agaha declared the opening in a loud voice. It's a competition, as the name suggests. It's an anything goes contest where we all make a paper airplane and the person whose plane flies the furthest gets to eat the best meat. The reason why we're doing this is because the meat Hibari brought over varies in type and size. There's a beef, pork, and chicken, as well as the various cuts of meat. And if we were to divide it evenly amongst everyone, there would only be a small amount of each meat for each person. Beef. I want to eat a belly full of loin and ribs. It's what these meat-eating girls all insisted. So that's why the very first competition of this type has been hastily arranged. The discipline chosen is the paper airplane, which embodies the peaceful spirit of the Soaring Club.
この戦いだけは負けられない。ふふふ。アゲハちゃんスペシャルを見せてやるわ。
Everyone starts work on folding their paper airplanes. We aren't using the construction kits like the ones that Kotori used before in the garage. These are just regular paper planes made from a single piece of paper. We come up with our own ways of folding them, and the paper airplanes that we make are all different shapes. Everybody's serious about this. The meat and our pride are on the line. Have you finished?
できたわ。オッケー。私もだ。
We all bring the paper airplanes that we've made, and stand next to each other in a line. We'll throw them at the same time when the signal is given. There will be no complaining about the results.
前置きはいいから早く始めましょ
Let's do it.
う。もうお腹ペコペコだ。どうせ勝つのは私だけどね。
So much trash talk. So much trash talk. All right, get ready. Everybody has a serious look on their face. Bang! We all throw our paper airplanes at the same time. The 4 paper airplanes cut through the darkness of the night.
いけー！よし、いいぞ！頑張れ！
This looks bad. The first one to fall was Amane's. It wobbled ungracefully as it flew, then suddenly lost speed and crashed to the ground.
あう、お肉が。
The next paper airplane to fall was mine. Kotori and Nagaha's were the only ones left, so it was now a 2-horse race.
もうちょい、頑張れ！よしよし、いいぞ！もう少し！
Amane and I, who were now spectators, watched over the battle with nervous anticipation. Their 2 paper planes, with a feeling of being almost completely weightless, flew right across the garden. Can paper airplanes really fly this far? Is what I thought as I watched on impressed. It was a close finish.
やったー、優勝！こんなのずるい！
Uh-oh, somebody's complaining. I got protests. While getting closer to the ground, both of their planes were still increasing their flight distance. However, just as they were grazing the ground, Aga's plane got caught on the shrubbery. It felt like Aga would have won if there were no obstructions, though.
見苦しいわよ、アゲハ。コース選択の駆け引きのうちよ。くー。
That's alright, isn't it? The second place person still gets to eat the beef.
そうだぞ。私なんか。
Amane looks down at her plane, dejected.
さあ、食堂に戻ってご飯にしましょう。
Fat from the meat is flying off the hot plate.
おかしいな。一番飛ぶ折り方をしたはずなのにな。
Amane slowly eats her chicken while continuing to act all downhearted. Things like that can happen, you know? The 4 paper planes from just now are lined up next to the hot plate. We'll have to use our imagination for this one. The one I made was just the mediocre, regular type. Kotori's had worked on the tips of hers a little, and the back of the wings were bent slightly, probably to give more lift. Aga's was folded somewhat more elaborately than Kotori's. Then there was Amane's. I couldn't possibly imagine how she folded it, but it was pretty complicated shape.
確かにこの折り方が最強ですけど、うわ雑。こんなの飛ぶわけないじゃん。
Amane puts her hands to her chest and hangs her head. It would appear that the reason why she lost is not because there was a problem with the design, but rather her clumsiness when it came to making it. Aga's plane seems like it should be able to fly well. But Tori's plane was well devised and was also precisely folded.
いいんだいいんだ。どうせ私なんてダメダメなんだ。
She looks on with envy at the beef loin and ribs that Kotori and Agaha were eating.
このカルビおいしい。こっちのロースも最高。ザ焼肉って感じよね。
Way to rub it in, folks. Way to rub it in. I wanted to eat the beef too, but to be honest, anything is okay. The pork and chicken were really tasty. We ate our dinner while chatting excitedly. On the TV that had been left on in the dining hall for some reason, a program called Japan Rocks the World had just started. It's a program that covers Japanese people who are active in various fields.
あまね先輩も将来この番組に出るかもしれませんね。あまねちゃん、テレビに出して大丈夫かしら。きっと変な発言するわよ。それがいいんじゃないの？先輩美人だし、テレビ映えするよ。
As they sit there saying these things right in front of her, they turn their focus back to the TV. A middle-aged man with a beard and a white coat appears.
わあ、この人知ってる。なんとかってバクテリアからバイオ燃料を生成する技術を発明した人だよね。確か発明家ってさ、変な人多いよね。奇人変人っていうの？
I've seen this guy several times on TV. He developed the technology that Aga just mentioned and has been applied to things that we are familiar with in our daily lives. He is pretty odd, an eccentric weirdo as Kotori put it. However, at the same time, he is famous for his outspoken remarks and can sum up things like environmental issues with a simple statement, so he is quite thrilling to watch.
私この人好きだな。ちょっと天然入ってて愛嬌あるしね。そうね。なんか誰かに似てる気がする。誰だろう。
Take a wild guess.
父だ。
What? Amani, who had been focused on eating, mumbled as she lifted her head.
何が？ほら、今テレビに映っている。
Everyone looks back at the TV again. There on the screen it said, Takashi Mochizuki, inventor.
望月。嘘。
Speaking of which, I have a feeling she said her dad was an inventor. So, that man is Amane's dad?
ああ、そうだ。おかしいか？
Is that weird? I'm not sure what you'd call it. He's really famous. Bewildered, everyone looks at the TV, then compares what they see to Amane, biting into her fatty pork, who looks up and happily says, "Oh?"
本当にはわさび醤油が合うな。あ、今、あまねちゃん映った。
Behind Mr. Mochizuki, who was being interviewed, there was a glimpse of a girl in a white coat.
ああ、父の仕事を手伝った時のものだな。そういえばテレビの取材があるって張り切っていたな。
She speaks like she's talking about things that happened to someone else, while stuffing herself with pork, then says, "Oh?" again.
今父が紹介している発明品は私が設計したものだぞ。
I recognize the invention that Takashi is proudly introducing. It was a hot topic for a while. It sold really well and was on the morning news.
グライダー製作の費用はそれらの特許収入から出しているんだ。
How about that? She explains it like it's completely normal, but
どうりで資金が潤沢なはずだわ。普段ボケボケってしてるけど、あまねちゃんって本当はすごい人だったのね。
recently I've been around her all the time, so I just thought of her as a strange girl, but she is really an incredible person. I go a little pale when I think about whether or not it's alright to throw someone like that off the top of a rock.
私は引退したらここの研究所に入って父の仕事を手伝うことになっている。
Alright folks, I think we're gonna have to put a little bookmark right there because this is starting to get a little long and I don't want to push it any further than I already have. But yeah, that's quite a shock there, isn't it? I didn't expect things to turn out that way. But that's pretty much how the cookie crumbles at times. So, an interesting development as we got here. We got to figure out who Amani's dad actually is and where the heck she got all the funds for the soaring club. So how about that? But we're going to see how they react to the statements of that next time. So I want to give everyone a big thanks for joining me in this episode. If you like what you saw today, maybe leave a like. And if you want to see more, maybe hit that subscribe button. And I want to say a big shout out to all my subscribers so far. Thank you so much for continually supporting me. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a live stream here when I reach 100 subscribers. So last time I checked the subscriber count, we're at 62. So once we hit 100 subscribers, I will do a live stream where you can ask me any questions. Just keep them PG, please. Okay? Thanks a lot. So with that, folks, until next time, happy mixing, everyone.